My dog Barnaby vanished for 3 days. It was agony. I plastered posters everywhere, called every shelter, and walked the trails until my feet were raw. On the 3rd night I heard a familiar scratching at the front door. There he was, my scruffy, lovable mutt, wagging his tail. He was a little thinner, a bit muddy, but otherwise unharmed. I was so overjoyed I didn't question it. I just hugged him, buried my face in his fur, and wept with relief. For the first week everything was perfect. It was just like old times. But then small things started to feel off. Barnaby used to have this goofy habit. Whenever I came home, he'd grab the nearest shoe and parade it around the house, his tail thumping against the walls. He doesn't do that anymore. Now, he just sits by the door, perfectly still, and watches me. His tail gives a single deliberate wag, almost like a calculated gesture. It's not the frantic, joyful helicopter wag I knew. Then there was the food. Barnaby was a notoriously picky eater. He'd turn his nose up at anything but his favorite brand of kibble, sometimes even demanding a little wet food mixed in. The dog that came back, however, eats anything. I dropped a piece of raw onion on the floor by accident, something he would have sniffed and walked away from before. This time he darted over and gulped it down before I could even react. His eating is mechanical, efficient. There's no pleasure in it, just fuel. I tried to dismiss it as him being starved during his time away, but the oddities kept piling up. He used to sleep at the foot of my bed, a warm, snoring lump. Now he sleeps in the hallway, directly outside my bedroom door. I've woken up in the middle of the night and seen him just sitting there, his head cocked, listening. The moonlight catches his eyes, but they don't have that soft, sleepy glow they used to. They look like polished stones, reflecting the light with a cold, analytical gleam. Last night was when the unease turned into real, gut-wrenching fear. I have a home security camera pointed at my living room. I usually only check it when I'm away, but something compelled me to review the footage from the previous night. I scrolled through the timeline, watching the empty room bathed in infrared. At around 3 a.m. I saw movement. It was Barnaby. He walked into the center of the room and stopped. And then he stood up, on his hind legs. It wasn't a clumsy, dog-like attempt to reach for something. It was a smooth, balanced, bipedal stance. He stood there for almost an hour, perfectly motionless, his head slowly panning across the room as if he were scanning it. He looked at the bookshelf, the television, the family photos on the mantel. He seemed to be studying them, memorizing them. Then he did something that made my blood run cold. He walked over to the bookshelf, and with a dexterity that a dog should not possess, he used his nose to nudge a book off the shelf. It was a book on human anatomy. He stared down at the open pages for a long, long time. After a while, he dropped back down to all fours, the transition as seamless as his ascent, and trotted back to his spot in the hallway as if nothing had happened. This morning I tried to play fetch with him, throwing his favorite squeaky tennis ball. He just watched it bounce, his head tilted. He then looked at my hand, then back at the ball, then back at me. It was the look a scientist gives a lab rat, a look of pure, detached observation. He wasn't playing a game. He was learning how I play. He was studying my movements, my reactions, my expectations. I'm sitting here now, and he's lying by the door. His breathing is perfectly even, a steady, rhythmic sound. But his eyes are open. They're fixed on me. Every time I shift my weight or clear my throat, his ears twitch, cataloging the sound. I know what I saw on that camera. The thing that came back to my house, the thing that sleeps in my hallway and eats from Barnaby's bowl, it isn't my dog. It's wearing his skin like a costume, a furry suit it's using to get close to me. And I have the terrifying feeling that it's learning. It's learning how to be a dog. But I think its real goal is to learn how to be a person. And it's starting with me. The scratching I hear at night isn't just at the door anymore. Sometimes it sounds like it's coming from inside the walls, or from inside Barnaby himself. He's looking at my throat now. His tail just gave one slow, deliberate wag.